After World War I, Germany lost territories and was forced to pay enormous reparations, which plunged the country into a severe crisis. This created conditions for Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party to officially seize power in 1933. In Italy, although it emerged victorious, the promises made by Britain and France to persuade it to join the war were not fulfilled. This fueled the rise of the fascist movement led by Benito Mussolini. In Japan, the severe lack of natural resources pushed the country to adopt a policy of conquest to resolve national problems, starting with its invasion of China. Meanwhile, the appeasement policies of Britain and France, combined with the weakness of the League of Nations, allowed fascism to spread and achieve its goals easily. Germany reoccupied the Rhineland in 1936, annexed Austria in 1938, and took over Czechoslovakia in 1939. On September 1, 1939, Nazi Germany suddenly invaded Poland, breaking through its defenses in a short time. On September 3rd, Britain and France declared war on Germany, but did little to help Poland. On September 17th, the Soviet Union invaded from the east, dividing Poland in half. At sea, the conflict quickly escalated into the Battle of the Atlantic as Germany launched unrestricted submarine warfare to counter the Allies' naval blockade that sought to weaken its economy. In November 1939, the Soviet Union invaded Finland, but failed to gain significant advantages despite overwhelming manpower. The Winter War ended in March 1940, when Finland ceded Karelia to the Soviets. In April 1940, Germany suddenly occupied Denmark and Norway to control the North Sea. On May 10, 1940, German forces bypassed the Maginot Line and simultaneously attacked the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. They then pushed through the Ardennes forest, encircling and destroying much of the Allied forces on the frontier. By June 14, Paris had fallen, and the Vichy government was established. From July to October 1940, Germany launched massive air raids against Britain, but failed to achieve victory. In the Middle East, North Africa, and the Balkans, Italy repeatedly suffered defeats at the hands of British counterattacks, forcing Germany to send reinforcements. But even then, the Axis failed to gain decisive advantage. Although Germany conquered Yugoslavia and Greece quickly, long-lasting resistance movements tied down Axis forces. On June 22, 1941, with the support of Italy and Romania, Germany launched the invasion of the Soviet Union in Operation Barbarossa. Finland and Hungary also immediately joined the war on Germany's side. At first, the Soviet Union adopted a defensive strategy and suffered heavy losses. On December 5, 1941, the Soviets counterattacked, pushing the Germans back and regaining the initiative. In Asia, after years of being bogged down in China and facing U.S. economic sanctions, Japan decided to attack European colonies in Southeast Asia to secure resources and score many victories. This included the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, which destroyed much of the U.S. Pacific Fleet. In North Africa, Axis forces approached Egypt, but were stopped by the British at the Battle of El Alamein in October 1942. Soon after, the U.S. landed in Morocco and Algeria, launching a two-front assault that cleared Axis forces from North Africa by 1943. On the Eastern Front, Germany regained the initiative with victories in early 1942, but by November, as they neared Stalingrad, they were once again worn down by the harsh winter and suffered a crushing defeat. In the Pacific, Japan also began to falter as the U.S. won a decisive naval victory at the Battle of Midway in June 1942, after which the U.S. steadily captured strategic islands, moving closer to Japan. By 1943, Germany suffered a major defeat at the Battle of Kursk, despite deploying a massive number of tanks in an attempt to turn the tide. In September, Italy surrendered, though German forces continued to occupy the Italian peninsula until 1945. On the Western Front, the Allies launched Operation Overlord on June 6, 1944, and opening a second front in Europe. Despite their overwhelming numbers and equipment, the Allies still faced tough resistance from Germany, and Paris was not fully liberated until August 1944. Meanwhile, the Soviets launched large-scale offensives, liberating most of Eastern Europe and advancing to Germany's borders. In December 1944, Germany launched its last major counterattack in the Ardennes, but failed. On April 30, 1945, Hitler committed suicide in his bunker in Berlin. In the Asia-Pacific, the United States pressed forward with relentless offensives. Despite major victories, most notably the Battle of Leyte Gulf, one of the largest naval battles in history, the U.S. also suffered heavy casualties. To compel Japan's surrender, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, and a second on Nagasaki on August 9. Faced with overwhelming pressure, Emperor Hirohito announced Japan's surrender on August 15, 1945, bringing World War II to an end.